Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon to stay updated with all my latest videos on web development. In today's video, we are diving into an exciting project. We are going to build a headless blog using Next.js and WordPress REST API. By the end of this video, you will have a fully functional blog that fetches posts dynamically from WordPress, and we are also going to build functionalities which will support user comments, dynamic single blog post, as well as category pages along with pagination, right? So why go headless? A headless CMS like WordPress allows us to decouple the front end and back end, giving us the flexibility to use modern frameworks like Next.js for the front end while still leveraging the WordPress's powerful content management capabilities. So let's have a look at what exactly we are going to build. So this is the Next.js blog, which is fetching data straight away from my personal blog, snailtire.com. So all the blogs which are already posted on the snailtire.com WordPress site, they will be fetched in this Next.js application, and in here we will have support for pagination. Okay, apart from that, the single blog post will also be functional. All right, and we'll also have functionalities for adding a comment and showing all user comments. Apart from that, category pages are also going to work here, so we are going to filter post by categories as well. So there are specific things I have left out, like a search functionality. So it's your homework to complete that particular functionality. And in case you have some doubts or need some help, you can comment it out and I will definitely help you with that. All right, so let's go ahead and start coding. So before we start, we need to have a WordPress site ready. So I'm not going to install WordPress and show you how to do that because there are a lot of tutorials already. So just go to Google and search for how to install WordPress, and you can find a lot of tutorials which can help you with that, right? So I'm assuming that you already have a WordPress site, and it doesn't matter which theme you have, what plugins you are using. That is not of any concern right now. So you just need a WordPress site where you can add blog post, because blog posts are the default functionalities of WordPress site, which works without any functionality or without any plugins or additional requirements, right? So just do that, just install a WordPress site, and I'm assuming that you already have a WordPress site now, and let's continue. So first of all, let's install Next.js. So it's create npx create next app latest in the current directory. So let it install. Yes. Would you like to use TypeScript? No. ESLint? Yes. Tailwind CSS? Yes. Source directory? No. App router? Yes. All right. So it's here. Perfect. It's installed now. So let's run npm run dev. So let's open it here. Perfect. So let's do some cleaning. First of all, let's go to our page, and from here let's remove everything. Just say home page. Okay, and then go to global.css and remove all the css from here as well. Perfect. Then go to layout, and here we need to remove this font, and what we'll do is we'll also remove this for now. We'll have a separate video where we are going to talk about the SEO. Okay, and we'll also remove this class name. Perfect. So now the cleaning is done. So I already have HTML written for this, so we are not going to waste our time just writing Tailwind CSS, because the HTML which I have is nothing but Tailwind layouts. Okay, so don't worry, I will include those HTML in our GitHub URL so that you can have access to those. So let's quickly grab that. Let me show you what all HTML I have. So this is single block page HTML. Along with that, I have this home page HTML as well, right? So I will just copy that and paste it here. So before doing that, we'll also need, let's copy that. Okay, So I'm going to copy everything. Okay, all right, so you can see that I'm getting an error right now saying invalid source prop, right? So this particular image which I have is coming from a site called a landing folio, which provides us with Tailwind UI, right? So in Next.js we need to configure the host so that Next.js will allow assets from this URL, right? So let's do that. So we need to go to next config.js. Okay, and what you can do is you can simply say, I'll just copy this. You can simply say this. Okay, so we are setting that remote images should be allowed from landing folio. Okay, loading.io and snailtally.com, of course. And from where I got this code, I simply got this code from the development, this one from Next.js docs, right? You can also look at it, have a look here. So images, remote patterns, and everything here. And the code is similar to what we have here. Okay, so images, remote patterns, protocol, as well as host name. So this is important, and whenever we add this, Next.js will allow assets from these particular URLs now. Okay, perfect. So let me reload this page now. It should work. Following tags are missing in the root layout. Okay, I think I missed something here in the layout. I should have not pasted it in layout. I should paste it in page. Perfect. So you can see now it's working fine, right? So the home page is done. Let's also go ahead and work on single block page. So for that we need to create a folder here, new folder, and we'll give it a name of, let's say, okay, so this will be a dynamic route, so we have to do it like this. Okay, slug is the dynamic value which we'll need to pass. Okay, and inside this we need to say page.js. So now if I say RAFCE, okay, now I have access to this params, right? So if, for example, if I say json.stringify, not like this, one second, json.stringify, okay, and params, and if I go, let's say if I go to /hello, so you can see that the slug, this slug is hello. So based on this slug we can fetch data from WordPress, right? So that's why we have added it like this. That's why the setup is like this. Okay, so right now we don't need to do any dynamic thing. We are just setting up the HTML. Let me just copy this HTML file and I will just paste it here. Okay, so you can see that it is working as well. Perfect. So now what we need to do is we need to create components for header and footer, right? So let's create a folder for component. Okay, and in here I will create two files, header.jsx and footer.jsx, right? And again we are going to do the same thing. So what we can do here is we can just go to our single block page, and in here just grab that HTML, this header HTML. Okay, let's copy that and paste it here, RAFCE. All right, and let's do it like this. Let's create empty fragments and that's it, and repeat this for the footer as well. So let's go back to this, and yeah, from here the footer starts from the line 263. So just cut it from here and paste it here, RAFCE. Okay, empty fragments. Perfect. Okay, now we have header and footer as well. So to make sure that this is displayed on each and every file, so we need to modify the layout now. So let's go to layout and import header from header. Okay, and do the same for footer. Import footer from footer, right? And here in body we need to call it like this: header, not like this, like this. Sorry, not like this, it should be like this. Now let's call header. Okay, and do the same for footer. Perfect. So we are getting an error saying header.jsx image is not defined. Okay, let's go to header, and inside this let's call import image from next image. Okay, perfect. So now you can see the header is here, and footer is also working here, right? Perfect. So let's go back to home page. I believe this is done, so we can start our work now. Okay, so HTML is set up and we can start our work now. Let's take a look at this, how it's looking. So we have pagination here, then we have navigation here, and all our blogs will be shown here, right? And footer will be this. Perfect. So now what we can do is we can further extend the components. We can create a component for this post grid. Okay, and yeah, let's do that. So go to page. Let me close this or everything. Let me close everything. Yeah, so let's go to page, and here we need to find that post grid, right? So this group div, this is the one. Okay, so let's grab that. Okay, and in components let's create a new file and give it a name of post grid.jsx, right? And again we'll do RAFCE here, empty fragments, and just paste it here. Okay, again we need to import next image. Okay, let's go back to the page, and here what we'll do is we'll import post grid, right? Perfect. So let's remove everything else. All right, and what else can we do here? Let's remove this, and we also need to import header and footer. We also need to import footer here, so import footer. Okay, I believe I have done what I have done. Header is showing twice. Oh, sorry, we don't need to do this because we are doing it from the layout, right? Yeah, perfect. So let's go ahead. Yeah, so the basic structure is ready, and so what we can do is we can go ahead and start working on our WordPress site. So there are a few things which we need to take care on our WordPress end, so I will just show it to you. So let's go to themes. Okay, and go to this theme file editor, and in here go to this theme.functions. I believe for you the navigation will be same, the theme functions.php is a core file in WordPress. So even in your setup, functions.php file will be the same, right? And in this file, what we need to do is there are certain functions. I'll just let me just scroll down. I will copy these functions for you so that I can explain this to you. Okay, and here I will create a file and give it a name of nodes.js. Not js, sorry, it should be text. Nodes.text. Okay, and have a look here. So we have to add this function actions and filters in our WordPress file. So you just need to copy this and paste it in your function.php. I will provide the GitHub URL for this, so you don't need to worry about it. But let's see what it does, right? So by default, when we fetch data from WordPress, we don't get image URL in our all blog post, right? We need to make another API request and get image separately. So to avoid that, we are going to add this particular function to our WordPress. What it will do is it will simply grab the ID, and based on the ID it will return us a featured image URL, right, in the REST API response itself. Next, this add categories for next course. So again, the post data doesn't contain category names, it only contains category ID. So to avoid calling APIs again and again, so we can just expose the category names right away in the all blog actions, all blogs API, right? And this last one, it's simply doing this last one. In WordPress, you can't post comments directly. So for even if you have allowed it for guest users, so for that particular thing, we need to add this function, add this filter, which will allow us to post comments, right? So you don't need to worry about this. You can simply copy this and paste it in your functions.php file, and everything else will work properly, right? So this is one requirement which you need to take care of. Okay, so next thing what we need to do is, let's go back. So all these blogs we can get from WordPress API, right? So what is that API? So let me just show it to you quickly. So if you go to WordPress REST API documentation, okay, and inside this, not this one, WordPress REST API documentation, okay, and this first link, REST API handbook, you need to open that, and inside this you can see and navigate to references, and inside this you can see post, right? You can access all this API, right? This is all accessible for you, but right now we are only focusing on post and comments, right? So let's go to post, click on post, and in here you can see a lot of API calls. So the first will be list posts, right? So this is the API WP v2 posts. So this is the endpoint, right? And they have also showed us the API. They have also showed us the example request in curl, right? So let's copy this WP JSON, WP post. We just need to copy that and duplicate this, and here we'll just paste it, right? So you can see that we have access to all the blogs now. Okay, and if I scroll down, you can see that featured image URL, this is coming from the code which we wrote, the functions which we wrote to the function.php, right? And again, this category names is the same result. This is coming because we have added those functions in the WordPress's functions.php file, right? So you can get this data and show it in our Next.js application. So let's do that now. All right, so let me just, yeah, just go back here, and now what we can do is we can we'll need to create an actions folder. We'll say actions, okay, and inside actions we need to create a file, and we'll give it a name of wp.actions.js, okay. And now what we need to do is we need to first specify that this is a server action, okay, and let's write a function export async function, and this function will be to get all posts, right? We are going to get all the posts from that API endpoint. So get posts. Okay, and let's, there are no dependencies to be honest. Get posts. Okay, and in here we are just going to fetch it. So const is equals to await await, and let me just copy that. URL is this, right? Okay, and I believe we don't need to give any headers or something like this. That's all. That's the only thing which we need to do. Okay, now let's try const post equals to await raise.json, right? And here we will say return post. Okay, this is the only thing which we need to do now. Okay, all right. Oh, have a look here, we have made a big mistake. So let's write fetch, and in here paste that, right? Okay, this should work now. So copy this get post and go to our page.js, and in here let's import get post from, not this, import get post from actions, right? And here let's write a function. We'll say const all posts equals to async arrow function. Okay, raise equals to await get post return raise. Okay, we are not going to return raise, we are going to set the state for this, right? So let's say const nice, which is good. I want to import it separately. Import use state, and we will also need use effect. So import use effect as well, right? So use state is here. Okay, and we also need to convert this into a client component. So use client. Perfect. So why it's still showing an error? Use state is called function page, that is neither a React function component or customer. All right, so now we are not going to return raised, but we are going to store it in our posts. And here I'm just going to console.log post. Okay, and to call this we are going to use effect. Perfect. All right, so let's go back here and see if it's fetching or not. So have a look here, it's actually fetching the data, right? We are getting 10 blogs here. Okay, right? But in my website I have more than 10 blogs. So why it is showing 10 blogs only? That is because by default WordPress REST API will only send us back 10 blogs. Okay, so to tackle this we need to add pagination here. Okay, so let's try that as well. So what we can do is, just for the sake of demo, let's write per page equals to 10 and page equals to 1, right? And what we'll do is we will add it like this. Is it correct? Yeah, this is correct. Okay, and now let's try this. Here we will say 20, and let's see if we are getting 20 or not. So have a look here, we are getting 20 blog posts back. Previously we are only getting around 10, right? Or around 10 only. And ignore these errors, these are just some HTML elements are not properly written according to the JavaScript conventions, so just ignore this for now. Perfect, so we have done this as well, and let's go back. I will change this back to 10 for now, and page will be 1 by default. Okay, we'll add pagination later on in the site. So go back to the page, and here what we need to do is we need to again so we will have another state for loading here. So const loading set loading equals to true. By default this should be false. Okay, sorry, it should be false. Perfect. So when this is going on, we'll just say loading equals to true, and when the response is set, then we'll say loading equals to false, right? That is done. So let's go back here. We have somewhere we have created this post grid component, right? So just above this we will have our map function. So we will say if loading is true, in that case just say loading. Okay, and we'll also give it a paragraph tag. All right, if post.length, if there are posts, in that case what we are going to do is then only we are going to map it, right? So let's say post dot map, and we are just saying post. Okay, and in here and in here we are going to copy this. Okay, and what we are going to do is we are also going to, so after copying it we will just say not first found. So we will say loading, if loading is true, in that case we are going to say loading. Okay, if that is not the case, then we will say post dot length. We are going to check if there are any posts or not. If post dot length, then we'll do this. Else if post dot length, then we are going to do this. Else we are going to say no post, right? So that's what we are going to do here. And again and inside this we are going to write our map function, right? So here we will say post dot map, and in here we are going to call post, and here will be an arrow function, and we are just going to copy this. Okay, so you can see that it's already working now, that all 10 blocks, we are seeing 10 post grid because there are 10 blocks in here, right? So let's add some props here. We will say key equals to post id, post dot id. Again this post id is coming from our response. Okay, I will just show it to you quickly. Let's go back to our WP actions. Sorry, I have already opened it here. So this is the ID, right? So this is always unique. So this is where we are grabbing it from. Okay, let's go back. So we are passing ID as post.id. Then we are going to pass post entire post object. Okay, after that we are also, I think, yeah, that's all the things which we need. So now we need to go to our post grid. Okay, and call our post, and now we can simply say we can simply map it here. So let me just remove this image, and we'll say post, not like this, of course, post dot featured underscore image underscore URL. Okay, so let's see if it's working or not. So yeah, it's working. And I believe we also need to make some changes to our image dimensions. So let's change it to 500, 500 and 500. It should work now. Yeah, so the images are coming properly. Okay, and in similar manner what we are going to do is we are going to say post.title. Okay, sorry, not like this, I believe this is not the correct way. So post.title is an object. So let me just show it to you. So see, title is an object. So in title there is something called as rendered. We need to access this key. Okay, so post.title dot rendered, sorry, not like this, dot rendered, like that. Okay, so yeah, you can see that we are getting the title as well. Okay, so see, this civilizations, there is some issue here, that is nothing but an encoding issue. We'll fix that as well. So what I will do is I will write a function for this, and we'll call it here, and we'll pass this post title rendered to that function. Okay, we'll do that right away. So for that to work, we need to create a function. uh, so let's create a folder called as utils. You can name it anything, but I'm just following my convention, and in this I'm going to call lib.js. Okay, and here I'm going to write the function export function decode HTML entities, and we are going to pass text, and in here we are going to access const text area. Okay, perfect. And here we are going to set text area dot inner HTML equals to text, return text area dot value. Okay, so this is the function which we need to call now, and this will solve this encoding issue. Perfect. So let's go back to our post grid, and in here let's call that function import decode HTML entities. Okay, and simply we'll need to wrap our function around it like this. Yeah, here let's call it like this. So you can see that that issue is fixed now, right? So we are just all right. So moving ahead, and so moving ahead, we can link this to our slug. So let's say dollar post dot slug. Okay, and again we are getting this slug right away from here. This is the slug. Okay, and based on this slug only we are going to fetch the single blog post as well. So this is very important, and you can see that we are using anchor tags here. So anchor tags, if we use anchor tags, then whenever I click on this link, it will reload the page, and we don't want that, right? So for that particular thing I will convert this into a link. Next link, it auto, I believe it's imported. Yeah, next link is imported, and it's not link, it's next navigation now. Next navigation, not link. Okay, let's go here and do this. Perfect, that's okay. Element type is invalid, expected a string. What is this? Check the enter method of postgrade. Did I made some mistake? Let me remove that. All right, so that is also done, and let's convert this into a client component. Perfect. Now what? Okay, we have date and we have category to figure out, right? So here is category, here it is. So what we can do is we can simply say post dot category underscore for the name and the first one. So we are not going to show all the categories, we are just showing the first category. So cannot read properties of undefined. Why? Let's go back to our API and let's see what are the name. So it's category names. Let's copy that. It's category names, not name. Okay. All right. You can see that that categories are also fetching now. So we need to work on the date. Where is date? Where is date? Yeah, here it is. Right. So let me show it to you. So right now, if you look at the date, it's in this format, right? This format. So we want that to be in this format, April 9 2022, because it looks cleaner and user gets a proper idea about it. This is messy and doesn't give what date, what month or year properly, right? So let's do that. So for that, what we need to do is we need to create a function which will format the date according to our requirement. So I already have that, so I will just show it to you. Okay, so let's go ahead and create that function for us. So again, we need to create that function in our lib.js file. So in here, let's write function called for formatting the date. Export function format date, and we are accepting date string as parameter. And now we need to say const date equals to new date, of course. And in here, first of all, let's write this, not like this. Yeah, we need this. Autocomplete is awesome. So let's do this. Const month equals to months dot date get month, right? And we'll say const day equals to day dot get date, and const year equals to day dot get full year. Okay, so these are nothing but the date properties. Okay, so if you can just copy this and go in your browser's console and click on this. Sorry, the date is not globally accessible, I believe. One second. Okay, it's date, capital date. So I will say get month. So this is nothing but date properties. So you can check that on W3 schools. W3 schools date. Okay. So JavaScript date objects, and in here there are a lot of things which you can do. So I recommend go ahead and check it if you are interested in checking out the date object. Okay, and we'll have to return this now. So let's return, and now we need to return it in our format. This is the perfect format. Okay, so now the function is ready. So let's copy that and call it here. Okay, we can call it like this, format date. And now it's simple, we just need to pass the post date here. So we'll say post dot, not like this, sorry, format date, and in here we'll say post dot date. Okay, I believe this should work now. See, July 3, February 18. Okay, this is working properly. Perfect. Okay, so we have it, the blogs are being displayed properly, and what we need to do now is we need to work on the pagination, and let's do that. So let's go back to our home page. Let me check this. So this is the pagination code, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, that was the pagination code, but I don't like this code actually. So let us write a simple one, because there is a lot of SVG in there and I don't want to do that. So let's go here and we'll simplify this. We'll just say div. Let's try to do it inside the section. So here we'll say div. Okay, and let's give it a class name of class name, and the class name will be flex. Justify between, and margin top, we'll give it margin top of 4 will be less, so let's give it 8. Okay, and now we'll create buttons here. This will be previous, and this will be next. Okay, and in between we are also going to show the page number, okay, on which page we are. So now we'll just simply create a span here, and this span will have, let's say, page of 3 or 2. Okay, so like this. So previous button, next button, and page of whatever it is, right? All right, so we have simplified the pagination. Rather than having this SVG based code, I will just remove it. If you want to use that, you can use that. I'm anyway going to provide that in the GitHub URL, but I'm going to remove it. I want it to be very simple and clean. All right, so now what we need to do, we need to create a few functions here. Okay, so let's say const handle next page equals to, and in here we are just saying if page number is greater than total number of pages, total pages. I will explain this in a minute. Okay, so if that is the case, sorry, not greater than, it is less than. If page number is less than total pages, in that case set page equals to page plus 1. Okay, and now we need to create these two states, one for page and one for total pages, right? Let's do that first. Const page set page, and then total page. Nice, total page will be 1. Perfect. So that is done. Now let's go ahead and create another function. It will be similar one. So what I will do is I will just copy this. I will paste it here. We need to rename it. So handle previous page, and in here we are just going to change it like this. Is greater than 1. We need to just, it should be greater than 1. That's all. Okay, and if that is the case, we are going to show, we are going to reduce the page number count from this page, right? That is the only thing which we are going to do. Now what we need to do is we need to pass few things here. So this page we are going to pass it in our all post function. Okay, and in all post we are going to, sorry, not here, absolutely not here, get post function. And in get post here, what we can do is we can just say we can remove this one from here. Okay, and per page will be 10 only, or 12, we can set it for 12. And we can get total pages from the response itself. This response headers also contains a total pages header, right? So let's write that. So we'll say const total pages equals to res.headers dot get, I believe this is correct, x dash wp dot total pages. Yeah, so you can check this on internet as well. So in the pagination documentation you can see, you can check for that. Here, this is the exact thing which we are trying to do now. Okay, I believe I need to do this. And next is we need to change how we are going to send it. So let me remove this and I will return a object now, post, and total pages will be like this, parse int total pages. Okay, we need that in integer format. Perfect. Let's go back, and we have access to total pages now, and we have access to post as well. So we need to do certain changes here. So we are going to go back, and here we are not going to set as arrays, we are going to set as arrays dot posts. Okay, and also we are going to set total pages equals to rows dot arrays dot total pages, right? I believe that's correct. I'm getting an error here, invalid parameters page. Let's go back and check. Let's console log this. Okay, so the page which we are passing, it's undefined right now. So let's go back and check why it's undefined. This is page, set page, by default it's 1. So we are also setting it here. Let me console log this, console log page. So page is 1, here page is undefined. Why is that? WP actions. Okay, so the issue was that we need to change these arguments. So first we need to set it as page, and then we need to set it as per page. Okay, so remember that. Okay, so that's done. So let's go back, and in here on this particular button we will go in. On this particular button we'll call our functions, right? On click, the function name is handle previous page. Okay, and for example If we are already on page number 1, then in that case we will disable this, right? So if it's page equals to 1, then it's disabled. Okay, and in similar manner we are going to write a function here on click handle next page. Okay, and even in this case we will disable it, disable the next page button if page count is equals to the total pages count, right? So we don't need to do, so the user can't, right? So let's go ahead and check if it's working. I believe we also need to make some modifications here. So in this we'll add a dependency for page. Okay, so if page changes we will page post again. All right, that's working fine now. We are getting the new pages, and also here page 2 we can simply say page of total pages. Okay, total pages. So it is saying 1 of 3 pages. So if I click on next, it should say 2 of 3 pages. 2 of 3 pages. If I click on next again, it should say 3 of 3 pages. Okay, all right. So pagination is also working. Fetching of our blogs is also working. So let's focus on our single blog page now. Okay, so let's go back to this page, and here we are going to create some states. Perfect. So we will need post, of course. It should not be posts, it should be single post. Okay, and after that again we are going to need loading. Okay, and we are also going to need error here. So error, set error equals to use state, and by default it will be null. Okay, perfect. So now we can go back to our WP action and create a function to fetch a single post. Okay, so again, to fetch a single post, you can go and check the documentation, and you can definitely find the details for doing to do that as well. So if I go back here, and here I believe in post only, if I scroll down, yeah, here, so you can see that retrieve a post. So by using this endpoint we can get a post detail, right? So that's what we are going to do now, and rather than doing it via id, we are going to do it with our slug. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So we can create a function. We'll say export async function get post equals to, here we'll be accepting slug, and here we are just going to write this const res equals to, is this correct? Let me check. Await fetch https wp, this is perfect, this is correct. Okay, and yeah, again, so we are filtering this post by slugs now. Okay, so I hope that's clear. We can add as many as filters as we want, and if you want to know what all arguments we have, you can just check this. We have this kind of arguments here: id, slug, status, title, and all those kind of things. Okay, So we are just filtering it out with post slug, and we are just simply going to return it. So sorry, const post equals to await res.json, and here we are just going to simply return post. Okay, perfect. So just copy this function now. Let's go here and we'll call the function first, import get post yeah, this is correct. And here we will say, we will write const fetch post equals to async arrow function, and in here we are just saying set loading to true. Sorry, not, I don't want to do it like this, set loading to true. And okay, let's use try catch here. So try, we'll just say const response equals to await get post, and here we are going to pass our slug, right, like this. And here we will say set post and set post, and here, and how we'll do it, we'll say response first array. Let's check what is the response. So I will just copy this, I will say question mark slug equals to, okay, so this is array and this is the 0th element. So let's do that. Okay, and now we will also set error here. So set error, and error will be response dot data dot status. In case, for example, in case I will just type it here, okay, response dot data dot status. All right, and now in our catch block we'll just say set error equals to error. If there is any error, we'll just set that to our error. All right, and after everything is done, we'll say set loading equals to false. Perfect. So let's say use effect fetch post. Okay, and now we need to do this. If error dot status equals to 404, if the API response is 404, in that case we'll say return not found. Okay, and if it's in loading state, then we'll just simply return loading. Okay, all right, I believe that's done. Now we have to check if we are getting access to the post. Okay, so let's console log it, console log post, and here let's check localhost 3000, and I will click on this civilization infancy, and let me open my console. I'm not getting anything here. Why is that? So let's go back to our WP actions, and in here let's console log this, console.log post. I will say posts. Okay, let's try now. I'm getting certain error. Is it true? Yeah, it's returning empty. Are we getting access to slug? Console.log. Oh, okay, the error is we are not getting the params, and we need to pass it like this, params.slug. Okay, I believe this should work now. Yeah, it's working. You can see that we are getting the data now. Perfect. So let's go back and let's write our logic here. So first of all, what is this 5 pizza tips? What is 5 pizza tips? Okay, these are breadcrumbs. So in here we will just simply say post dot title dot rendered. Okay, cannot read properties of rendered. All right, so we are seeing that here, but you can see we are again facing the similar issue, right? So we wrote a function for that, and what is the name of the function? It's decode HTML entities. Let's go back to our slug, and in here we just call it like this, and we also have to import it. Okay, so import decode HTML entities, and now it's working fine. Okay, and we'll remove this blog li, we don't need this, and we'll just simply say like that. Okay, just copy this and paste it here again, and in here again we can write this function decode HTML entities, because that kind of issue can happen with category as well. So let's just do it for category. So I will say post category, and so I will say category underscore names. All right, so future tech and live, so these are the names of the category, right? So we are just showing all the categories here. Now we have also added a function for formatting our date, so we'll just say format date, not like this of course, we need to wrap it in our curly braces. Okay, and again we need to import that here like this, format date. So did I think, yeah, so date is also working, title is also working, categories are also working. We need to work on the image now, and where is it? Let's go here, and in here first of all change that to image and give it a width of 500, height of again let's say 500, and we can simply say post dot featured underscore image underscore URL. Okay, so image is not defined, so again we need to define it. Import image from next image. Okay, so it should work now. Yeah, it's working. Okay, so it's working now. We have title, we have categories, and we have this as well, right? The image. Now we need to add the content, so let's go back and do it. So it is content, so this article, this entire thing is content. So just I will just remove everything. I will simply say post dot post content rendered. Again, we are doing nothing special. We are just grabbing that content from this content. Okay. All right. So have a look now. So in my WordPress site, I have some HTML tags added to the content, and the same thing is repeating here as well. So right now, we don't want to display it like this, right? So we want to sanitize it and display it properly. We can dangerously set that, but we don't need to do it that way. So for doing it, what we will do is we are going to use a npm package called a DOM purify. Okay, so this is the npm package DOM purify, this one. So yeah, this one. So we are just going to install this. Okay, and I will show you how it works and how we can sanitize our HTML data. Okay, so let's stop the server, and now we just need to say npm install DOM purify. Okay, it's installed. So npm run dev. So first of all, we need to again import our DOM purify. Okay, and once we have that, we can go to our article here. So in here we can write it like this: dangerously set inner HTML. Okay, and inside this we will have our HTML, and it will be sanitized by DOM purify. DOM purify dot sanitize, and HTML will be this. Just copy this. Okay, perfect. So let's see if that works. I think I missed this. Should work now. Yeah, you can see that the HTML tags are gone, and now we are getting a proper text format. Okay, and if you want to, let's say if you want to design this, you can do that on your WordPress site itself. So you can have HTML tags and all those kind of things, and you don't need to worry about how it will look here. You can just add the classes or add the CSS and everything on your WordPress, add the HTML tags and everything on your WordPress editor itself, right? Perfect. So this is done as well. So you can see that we have single page. So you can see that we have home page where all the blog posts are being paged from WordPress, and we are also getting single blog page data. And apart from that, now we need to work on our category pages and our comment functionalities, right? So let's go ahead and do that. So first of all, I'll go to header, and inside this I will change the logo. Okay, so I will just say this, and I will change height and width. Okay, I can change the logo, and now so you can see that this category, these links, they are just static ones. They are just plain static HTML. So what we can do is we can fetch all the categories, and with the help of those categories, we can with the help of those category slugs, we can fetch post as well, right? So first of all, we'll fetch categories, and then we'll fetch post based on those category slugs, right? Let's do that. So now we need to again go back to our w actions function. W actions, in here we'll write this function export get, sorry, not get, export async function get categories, and I believe this is correct. So let me just do this. Okay, and now I will just say const categories equals to await race.json and return categories. That's all. So let's copy these categories and see if it's working or not, because we got that from autocomplete. Okay, so it's completely working now. So we are getting this category link, and the most important part which we are interested in is slug. So we are also getting access to slug, right? Perfect. So let's go back to header. Okay, and inside header we will call that function import get categories. Okay, so and here we will write function for const. Yeah, we will also need a state, and also we are going to use, let's say, const get all categories. Yeah, this is good. And okay, that's perfect. And now we will also need use effect get categories, and we have not imported the use state yet, so let's do that. Use state. Okay, perfect. So let's go back. Yeah, we need to set it as client component. Use client. Okay, so let's see if we have access to categories or not. So I'll just console log it. Console.log categories, and yeah, we got the categories here. So yeah, these are the categories, right? Perfect. Now we can simply map through it and show our categories here, as simple as that. So first of all, let me remove everything else. Okay, we don't even need this login here. And convert this into link. And we also need to import link from next navigation. Not link, it should be next navigation. Okay. And what is the issue here now? Hmm. Why is it showing this error? Why is this showing this error? Is it not next navigation? Let me just turn it back. Okay, it is next link only. Weird. Anyways, yeah. So we don't need to do navigation. It's link only. I'll have to check that again. All right. So let's go back here, and now we have access to our categories. So let's just map it here. So let's say categories. If categories exist, then do this categories.map, and here we will have a function, an arrow function, and in here we will say category, single category, and here we'll just copy this and have it like this. Okay, sorry. And now let's say key equals to category.id. Again we are getting this key from this. You can still see, right? I have that console logged categories here. So category id, then for href we are going to say, is it correct? Yeah, this is correct. So it will be like this, category slash category dot slug. Okay, and here we'll say and here we'll say category dot name. That's it. Okay, so let's test it out if it's working or not. I will load the page. So yeah, it's working. So code, design, future and tech, life, productivity, and WordPress are my categories. So if I go back here and if I show you the categories, you can see that code, design, future and life, productivity, WordPress, these are all my categories, right? So it's working fine. Perfect. And also there is one glitch here. I just noticed it. I had not worked on the responsiveness of this menu. So again, this will be your homework. So again, definitely if you have a doubt or if you want a solution, you can comment it out and I will definitely provide a solution for that. But right now, I don't want to solve that responsive issue because on mobile screen, the main navigation menu is not properly looking, right? So it is a simple fix. We just need to work around some television classes and it will work. But yeah, fix it on your own and let me know if you need any help. All right, so moving on. Let me expand this like that. So we have category name, we have category slug, and everything is working fine. So also I believe we don't need this button join community. We can just remove it. Okay, we already have a mobile menu here, so you can make use of it. I'm not going to delete it from the GitHub. Okay, I'm keeping this. You can work it out. But I just need to remove this. Okay. Sorry, this button. All right. So we have categories here, and if I click on design, it should show a 404 because we have not worked on the categories library yet. So let's do that. So what we can do is we can create a folder in here. Let's call it category, and inside this we'll create another folder we will say cat slug. Okay, and in here we'll create a page.js. All right, I'll just say RFC. This will be similar to our home, but we are just filtering the posts, right? Perfect. So category page, and in here we will just say params, just like we did in our single block page, and let's test it out if it's working or not. So I will just say json.stringify params, and let's see if it's working or not. Yeah, it's working. Category sorry, cat slug is design. Okay, so it's good. Now what we can do is we need to create another function in our WP actions, and this will be specifically to get post by category slugs. Okay, all right, so let's do that. So this will be a two-step function. First of all, we will get the category details, category ID from the slug. So before I start, we will have to, so this function, so let's write it. So let's say export async function get post by category name. Okay, so this will be a two-step function. So step one will be to fetch categories by name. Okay, by slug I mean. So this slug we are going to fetch categories by, where is it, this slug. Okay, this category code, this slug we have to fetch post, but first of all we need to fetch post based on these categories. So first of all we need to grab id based on this category slug. So that will be step one. So fetch id of category. Okay, and sorry, and then step two will be to fetch post by category id. Okay, so I will explain why we are doing it in two steps. So let's go back, and if, for example, if I just do this, okay, if I just copy our categories and paste it like this, so we can filter it out with slug, but you can see that we don't have access to our post in this particular function, sorry, in this particular response. So we can extend it with functional functions like we did with our single post and all posts. But I want to show you how we can do multi API calls here, right? So for example, if I do this, if I say slug equals to live, you can see that we have access to the slug live, we have access to the category live, but we don't have access to the products, access to the posts, right? So how we can get those posts? So simply we can say like this. In here we can say category like this, categories. Here category id will be id, which we will get from here. So in this case the category id is 1. Okay, and we are going to pass it 1, and again the pagination, the similar way we are going to use page, and the pagination will be as same as our home page, right? I hope that's clear. So let's go back and start working on this. So first of all, write const category response equals to await fetch, and in here we are just going to grab that, and this, for this arguments we are going to accept category name, page, and per page, and we will set it to 12. Okay, so that's that. Okay, Okay, sorry. And now we'll just say const categories equals to await category response.json, right? And in here we are going to oh, okay, so this is not correct, so we need to change this. So we'll just say categories and slug will be category name. Okay, because first we need to get the categories and then we are going to get the post based on the IDs, right? So that is done. So now let's grab the category ID. So const category ID equals to categories 0.id. Why 0? Because in any case it is going to return us a array and the first element will be the category, right? So that's why we are accessing it with 0. I hope that's clear. So we have grabbed the ID. Now what we need to do is we can say we have to get the post now based on the ID. So const post response equals to await. Okay, and fetch here we will say https. Is this correct? Let me check. Post is question mark categories ID per page and page. We just need to shuffle this, that's all. This is correct. Okay, so this is correct. And now what we can do is we can just return it. So const post equals to await post response.json, and again we are going to get the total pages. Const total pages equals to post response dot headers dot get x wb total pages, right? And now we are going to return it like this: return post total pages parse int. Yeah, that's correct. I believe we should grab this and wrap it in a try catch. Okay, and here we will simply console log the error and return empty object. All right, so I believe the function is here. So let's go over this once again. So first of all we are getting the category details using the slug. Okay, once we have the category ID, then we go and filter the post with the particular category ID and get those posts back, and then we are going to send that to the front end. Okay, it's that simple. But as I said earlier, you can customize WordPress and just show it in one single API response also. So that is also a possibility in WordPress. All right, so let's go back where we need to go. Let's go back here and call our function import get post by category name. Okay, and we will also call import use effect as well as use state, and let's convert this into a client component. Okay, now we have to add certain states. So const post, okay, loading, perfect. And again we are also need to have this page and total pages here. Now const display post, why did I say display post? I don't know, display post async, and here we will set the loading to true. Is this correct? Parameter slug comma page. set post arrays dot post, set total pages is arrays dot total pages, set. I believe this is good, but we need to change this. It should be cat slug. Okay. All right. Then again we need to copy those functions. Believe from here. Okay, and we also need a use effect here. Sometimes autocomplete works, sometimes it doesn't. And here we will say display post. Yeah, that's all. And in the dependency array we will have two things. First will be params, and we will also require pages. Okay, perfect. So this is done. So display posts is also working. Okay, so now you can simply grab our pagination code. I'll just copy that, and I will, let's do one thing. Let's copy entire home page here. Where is it? Let's copy this and take it here. Okay, so I believe this should work. Let's test it out. It is saying pages is not defined. What is pages? Where it is saying 20 on cat slug. Okay, we have also not imported post grid, so let's do that as well. Import post grid, and now we are getting reference error. Pages is not defined. It's on 22 total pages. 22 pages. It should not be pages, it should be just page, right? Awesome. So yeah, I believe it's working. So all the categories are code only. So let's do one thing. Let's click on design and see if we have anything, because I don't have any post in design. So it's working properly. No posts. And if I click on future and take, let's see if it's showing something. Yep, it's working as well. And let's check for live. I believe there are a lot of posts in live. And let's check pagination as well. So yeah, pagination is also working. This is good. Okay, perfect. Pagination is also working. Post is also working. Everything is working here. Perfect. So perfect. Let's do one thing. Let's remove this, and we'll only have category name here. So I will say category name. So let me check once. WP action, and I'm also going to send these categories back. Okay, so that I have access to categories. So let's go here in our cat slug and read latest collection. I will say categories dot what am I getting back? Name. Simple. Categories dot name. But now for that matter we also have to set categories here as state const categories comma set categories use state, and here, not here, set categories equals to arrays dot categories. Okay, I hope that's correct? We are not getting anything back. Let's check if its categories is correct or not. Console. Okay, what we need to do is we need to set it like this: category is 0 dot name. Let me check if it's working or not. JSON.stringify categories, it's empty. Okay, let me WP actions. Categories is correct. We are returning it here. We are getting it from here, and in here I will just say console.log raise. So I have categories array here. Why it's not working then? Category 0 name, that's correct. Category 0 dot name. Categories question mark 0. Let's do one thing. Let's conditionally write it. If categories, yeah, perfect. It's working now. And what we'll do is we will also, I will remove this and I will cut it from here and I will copy it here. I will do this. I will just wrap it in loading as well. Perfect. So I think it should work now. All right. So it's working now, and you can further modify it or further design it. You can do a lot of things with this. Now you can extend this app in a lot of ways. This is just a starting point. Okay, so let's go back to our single post and we'll work on our comment feature now. Okay, so let me close everything. Okay, so let's go to our single block page. This is very irritating, this SVGs and all. So I will simply okay. Okay, so let's create a component and we'll give it a name of comment.jsx. Okay, and in here we will say RAFCE. All right, and here we will simply say comment for now, and here we will remove this. We don't need this for now. We will just add or comment. Okay, and we are also passing this post as post. Let's rename this to comments. Import it, import comments. Let's change it comments. Okay, perfect. So we have comments component here, so that we can work it, so that now we can work on it. So I already have an HTML ready for this comment section. I'll just use that, and I will also include that in the GitHub URL. Okay, so let's do this. All right, so this is the comment box. Okay, and this is just a plain HTML for now, but we need to extend it. We need to add the functionalities, so let's do that as well. So firstly, we have name, your email, and comment. So we need to create some states for that. So let's go here, and let's set const content, set content equals to use state. Okay, it should be comment, not content, but anyways, that's okay. Import use state, use effect. Okay, and next is we need to set name, and what is then email. Also we need to set email. Okay, so let's rename this, and we will say author underscore name and author underscore email. Okay, and let's add that post prop which we added here earlier, and here we will say const post id equals to post id. Okay, this is not a compulsory action, so we will just remove it. We will just access post id directly. So we need a function here. We will say handle submit, const handle submit equals to async. Okay, for now we will not say async, we will just say normal arrow function. Okay, e dot prevent default behavior, prevent default. Okay, and here we'll create const data equals to post dot id. Okay, author name, author email, and content. So these four things are required for us to submit a comment. Okay, without these four things we cannot submit a comment. And again, you can check this on the documentation regarding the posting and getting all comments. I believe we have the documentation here itself. So I will just search for comments. Yeah. So you can check this page, reference comments, and in here to get all comments, this is the endpoint. Okay. To create a comment, this is the endpoint, and these are the arguments which we can pass. Sorry, not this. These are the arguments which we can pass, and author email and author name and comment. Those three things are mandatory. Okay. Author email, author name, and the content. Sorry, not comment, content. These three things are mandatory when we post it. Of course, the ID is also important. Okay, so these four things which we have already mentioned here: post, author name, and author email, and content. These we need to post. Where we need to do that? This here on this URL. Okay, on endpoint. Perfect. So let's go back to our code and write a function to post a comment. WP action post response. So it's not post response. Export async function post comment and data. Okay, data is this entire data which we are passing. We will be passing to that function. Okay, and here we will say const raised. Is this correct? Let me check. Await fetch comments. Method is post, of course. Headers is this. Body is this. Right. But we will just copy that and I will just do it like this. I will just copy it like this. But what we can do is we can do it like this also. So we'll just say post data.post, author name is data.author name, author email is data.author email, content is data.content. Okay, we don't need to do it like this because we are already formatting it in the data, but just for the sake of it I'm doing it. Okay, all right, now let's console log comments here first. Comment. All right, and also do one thing: whenever you will clone the repo, just remove the console logs. Okay, I'm not going to clean those, but just remove it. It is not a good practice to have those here. Now let's go back to our comments, and in here what we can do is we can just say const raise equals to await post comment data, right? And we can import it like this. And now we need to convert this to an async function. What is this error? Sorry, I need to remove it. So, and now what we can do is we can just simply console log, not log, the response. Okay, so let's test it out. Let's do this test once. I will just say Snehal testing now at now.com. This is a great read. Okay, I believe I am adding no. Okay, so this will not work because we have not set the on change and on click functions yet. So let's do that quickly. All right, so where is it? Yeah, in here we can simply say On change, set name is name, not set name, it should be author name. We also need to change this. Okay, let's copy it and do the same here. Set content. No, this is not for content, this is for name. This should be for emails, email, and this should be input field, input. Okay, so name, email, and here we will say set content. This will be author email. Okay, and on click handle submit. That's it. Perfect. So let's check it out now if it's working or not. So I have my console log here, and we'll also need to go to our comment section, comments. Okay, so that we can test it out. So let's go back and do it. Nehal a@a.com. Hello. Let's see. Okay, I believe we got the comment response back. That means the comment is here. Let's check it out. So yeah, it's here. So you can see that the comment which we just made is here for approval, right? And if I approve it, it will be displayed there. Okay, now did you see that there was no notification or something like that? So we have already covered this in our last two videos, how to add a React Toastify and how to show notifications. So you can make use of that. It will be really a good exercise for you. So I'm not going to do that specifically because I want you to do it. And at any moment, if you face any challenge, let me know via comment section. I will be definitely helping you with that. Perfect. So okay, now we need to work on our comment section. We need to call all comments as well, right? So as you saw in our REST API documentation from WordPress, that we can get all comments with the help of this URL, right? Example request. So let's go back and work on that as well. So let's write a function for that. Export async function get comments. Okay, and we need to specifically get comments for a specific post ID. Okay, because as you can see here, we have these arguments which you can pass, and we have this where, yeah, this post argument as well. Limit results set to comments assigned to a specific post IDs, right? So this is a good way we can filter out the data. So that's what we are doing here. Okay, yeah, perfect. So the function is ready and function is good to go. Let's go back in comments and let's call the function right away. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's create another component. We'll name it comment list.jsx. Okay, RAFCE, and we'll say comment list. Okay, and let's go back to our comment and import it here. Import comment list, and we'll call it here. Okay, perfect. So let's go back to our comment list. So here we need two states. One will be comments and another will be loading. Okay, and then we'll write our function. We'll say get all comments, and it will be a sync function. Okay, and we'll set loading to true, and we will set data equals to await. A function name is get comments. It's auto imported, you can see here, and I believe we have access to this post. So we can simply say post.id. All right, and we will set comments equals to data, and so it's loading to false. Okay, and we'll also have a use effect here. Use effect get all comments, and we need to add a dependency for post id. If post id changes, we'll fetch the comments section, fetch the comments again. Okay, that is there. Now, so first of all, let's check if it's working or not, if we are getting the comments or not, right? And just check comments. Use state is not defined. Perfect, let's define it then. Use state, and we'll also need to convert this into a client component. So comment list is here, but yeah, so you can see that we are getting 3 comments here. Okay, and I believe for this particular post we have 3 comments only, so that's good. So we can simply print out our comments now. So let's go ahead and create our map function. Just do this. Okay, div, and we'll have to give a class name of, let's have a width 2/3, margin will be auto, space y-axis will be 4. Okay, and here we will say if loading and if that is the case, then we will have a loading, but have a loading text, and we'll just say okay, we can have a div here so that we can center it, div, and we'll have to give some class names. Class name text center, text gray 500. Okay, and what we can do, we can also do this. Yeah, now we will just create our map function, comments dot map, comment, and in here we'll have a div, this div will have a key, and key will be comment dot id. Okay, and in here we can say like this, we'll have h2 for our comment author name, comment dot author underscore name. Yeah, so it's printing properly, that's good. And below that we can have a paragraph tag. Now again the same thing will happen here. So this comments, one second, let me show it to you. So again this comment will be rendered, so you can see that we have an HTML in the comment rendered key, right? So we need to use our DOM purifier to sanitize this as well. So again we will have to do the same thing, right? So I'll just copy the previous code like that, like that. Okay, and we need to import DOM purify, import DOM purify. All right, and we also need to give some classes. Okay, perfect. So this is working. Now let's give some classes here. Class name, nothing special, nothing fancy. Margin top and text gray, 700. Okay, and let's give some classes here as well. Class name, text LG, font semi bold, text gray, 900. And also let's give some classes here as well. How is it looking? It's looking ugly right now. So class name, padding 4, and border rounded dash LG, background will be white, shadow. Okay, this is looking good. Okay, so let me just try a few more things. We can set width full and padding 10. Let me see how it looks. Okay, this is okay. And also one more thing, we can add a margin 6. Yeah, this is good. So let's do one thing. Let's also add date here. We will say span, and inside this let's give it a class name of, let's say, flex, justify end, and text should be small, and we'll say comment date will be this, comment comma comment date, sorry. Yeah. Okay, let's see how it looks. So yeah, so we need to format this. We have already created a function for this, so let's call that function and format it. Cut format date. All right, so yeah, so the comment date is July 14, 2024. This is the old comment. Okay, so let's go ahead and approve our comment and see if it shows up or not. This hello and a at a email ID. Let's see this hello comment. Let's see. Yeah, this comment is showing up, and today's date is July 16, as you can see here. So it's working fine. All right, so let's go through these ones and see what all things we have built. So we have a home page, So we have a home page where all blogs will be shown. We have pagination. Okay. We also have access to categories. So based on the categories, we can show data and show data. And we also have single category page. Okay. We also have add comments functionality, and we can also display all comments. Okay. And we have this date formatting and decoding, HTML decoding as well. So that's all for today. Before we go, let's do one thing. Let's change this. Change the footer, and I believe I don't need this. I'll just remove it. Also, I will change this URL. And I will also change this. Image is not defined. Let's define it here. Import image from next image. Okay. And let's change it to today. We can also use a date property and show it dynamically. For that, go ahead and read about JavaScript date objects and do that as a homework as well. So this 2024 should not be hard coded. We can change it dynamically. Okay. So have a look. This is how you can get full year, and you can get the full year here. Perfect. So yeah, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video and learned something new. And in case you have some questions or something like that, do let me know. I would be happy to help. And if you like my video, please subscribe to the channel. That would be a really awesome motivating factor for me. Yeah, that's all then. I believe everything is working fine. In case you have some project ideas in mind, do let me know. We can also work on those. Apart from that, in next video, I want to build an e-commerce website. I'm not sure if I want to go it with Next.js and build a custom backend and all, or I should use and leverage the Shopify and WooCommerce backend for the same thing. So I'm confused about that, but yeah, the next project I'm looking forward to and building an e-commerce site, and maybe a series for that. Okay, so perfect. So thank you for watching, guys, and yeah, see you in the next video. Bye.